Lashon Corla, I welcome statements on fibromyalgia. However, I wonder how much attention the government will be paying to any contributions today. I know that a large number of constituents are coming to me at my clinics in Donegal in absolute despair, not only because they are dealing with an illness that is debilitating them, but because their condition is not being recognised by the state, particularly when it comes to accessing social welfare supports. It's called the invisible illness for a reason, Ceann Comhairle. It's invisible in that it's difficult to diagnose and causes are still not fully understood. It's invisible because there are no visible symptoms other than someone may be bedridden due to pain or having curtailed their activities in their daily lives. Because it is so-called invisible illness, people undergoing diagnosis or applying for social welfare supports are made feel like they're liars. Fibromyalgia is not listed on the long-term illness list, yet it has been included in the International Statistical Classification of Diseases and Related Health Problems published by WHO since 1992. And because it's not listed on the long-term illness list, people with fibromyalgia are essentially become invisible to the state. I spoke with Caroline Tate, chairperson of Donegal Support Group for People with Fibromyalgia, who gave me a very in-depth account of the realities of someone suffering from the condition. She said, first, just getting someone to diagnose them in the first place is an uphill battle. A person needs a diagnosis of a rheumatologist, but the waiting list for that is so long, a number of years in some cases, that some people end up going to see someone privately for a diagnosis. But of course, not everyone has the means to do this, and some can't even get the condition recognised by GPs. And if they're on a medical card, they can't go to a different GP then to get the treatment. So then there's a long list of medication awaits someone once they are diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and some don't work for them. Some are being prescribed medication that's for other conditions, such as epilepsy or antidepressants, which can lead to addiction or other side effects. Furthermore, many end up having to give up their work due to fatigue and the pain they suffer from. And because many have problems acquiring medical cards, their partners are put under increasing pressure to be able to afford the litany of medications these people are ending up having to take. So we know the level of suffering people with fibromyalgia go through, but it's an unnecessary amount of suffering. First and foremost, the condition needs to be recognised as a disability. And I would like to repeat some of the calls made in the motion on fibromyalgia a number of months ago and call on this government to once and for all establish an effective and sustainable model of care to diagnose, manage and treat fibromyalgia. Develop a model of care that is based on international best practice and implement a strategy to set up a framework for those living with fibromyalgia. Conduct a review of the long-term illness scheme. It has not been updated since 1970, which is 49 years ago now, so maybe for the 50th anniversary we'll have an update of that. And carry out a dedicated and rigorous review of the underlying causes of the condition. Roll out a comprehensive education programme for those working in social welfare dealing with people with chronic illnesses, and I think that's vitally important so that people will actually be treated with respect. Invest in community, primary and secondary care as committed to in the Sláinte Care report. And finally, in your capacity in government, do what is necessary to make this invisible illness visible and acknowledge that people are experiencing living with fibromyalgia. Thank you.